Hello and welcome to the start of a new series. This is going to be me creating character ideas like from scratch instead of picking characters from like popular media like anime and games and stuff and going through how to build them. I feel like this gives me more flexibility and should be more fun, so I'm going to give this a go for a while. So this is the Revenger, or what I'm calling it anyway, a character idea for Fabula Ultima, a guide by Fabula Points. Me. So the way I've come about this is I've built a matrix here of exactly what classic characters each book has and what classes they use. So for example, the Alchemist here uses the Tinkerer and the Wayfarer. And then I've counted how often those classes are used to get like an idea of what the most used one is, which is like Weapon Master, and then also what the least popular ones are, which is Chimerist and Darkblade with only one. So today's character is going to be a Darkblade. There's also going to be a Lore Master. So I wanted to take some of the least popular ones, work out a great synergy between them, and make it a good character. And I'm going to be doing this for quite a lot of these until I either get bored or come up with a different kind of series I want to do. So yeah, the Revenger. Let's go straight into building them, as I like to do. So this is the character sheet. So name is the Revenger. Let's get rid of that to make it easier. Pronouns are he, him. Identity. So like my kind of backstory for this is I'm imagining like the bullied child who was constantly beat up and decided to fight back and wasn't strong enough. So decided to kind of learn more about his enemies to be able to be more effective fighting back. So identity will be the bullied one. Theme, we have a dark page. He's going to be the edge lord. And origin is, I'm going to say his origin is a troubled past. Or we can stay where he's from if we decide a place, but we're going to leave that open. Bonds, we're going to have a way to get bonds faster than most other classes. But again, like other builds, we don't start with any bonds, so we're going to leave that blank. Fabula points, everyone starts with 3. Experience points, everyone starts with 0. We're going to quickly come back to equipped items. We're going to do stats first. So we're not very strong, so instantly we can say we got a d6 in might, where the whole idea is to be clever, so we're going to have a d10 in insight. So we got an option between dexterity and willpower, whether we want one to be really good and the other really bad, or to have them kind of even. So I'm going to call them even. I like a well-rounded character. And then we'll just say inventory points are 6, just because it's there. Okay, so now that we have stats, we can look at equipped items. We start with 500 Zenith. So let's go to the core book. So let's put that there. So I like the rapier for this. It's one-handed and we're not very strong, and it uses our insight. So the rapier uses dexterity and insight +1 for the attack roll, and it's high roll +6 physical damage, which when you're level 5 is pretty good. It costs 200 Zenith, so that's instantly gone down to 3. Then for our armor, I really like the combat tunic. Again, we're not strong, so we don't want plate armor, and also we're gonna kind of want to be hurt, which I'll go over more when we go through like the Darkblade and how it works. But yeah, this is good enough for now. So our initiative modifier is 0, which is nice because most of these have minuses. Our defense is dexterity die +1, so that's a 9, and our magic defense is insight die +1, which is going to be 11. Oh, and the combat tunic costs 150, so that means we have 150 left, which is pretty good. Okay, so that's all we can do for now. Let's go into the characters. So I said we're going to be a dark blade, and we're going to take 2 levels of dark blade. Let's go bring up what the dark blade is, and what is my, here we go. So this is the dark blade. So the free benefits are HP +5 and martial, melee, and armor. So let's tick them off before I forget. Martial armor, martial melee weapons. Cool. So we may as well start with HP. We can add it as we're going along. So HP is might times 5. Our might is a d6, so that's 30. Plus level, we start at level 5. So that's 35 plus that, so it's 40. Current is 40, which makes our crisis 20, which is going to be very important later. Magic is our willpower, which is a d8 times 5, which is 40 plus level 45 plus other. It's going to end up at 50, but we'll add that when we get there. So, Darkblade. The one we want to focus on is this painful lesson. So what painful lesson does is when you are hurt, either by attack, spell, or any other method, you can perform the study action on that creature for free. If you do, you gain a bonus equal to skill level to your check. So we're only going to take one. So free study when hurt. So let's go over study pretty quickly. Let's go study. Is that study? I keep finding the wrong study. I picked the wrong page. That's fine. So basically, how a study generally works, there's two different studies. I'll go over the main study quickly first, but studying a non-player character is the one we actually need. So a normal study, we do insight, unless it makes more sense to do something like insight willpower. We roll the dice. If we get a 7 or more, we get a subtle hint, which is a bit broad. If we get a 10 or more, we get a complete answer with no room for doubt. 13 plus, we get the complete answer and an extra useful detail related. And 16 plus, we get encyclopedic knowledge about it. So that's how you'd normally study like an environment, or if you wanted to study like a book or a ring or something like that, that's how that works. But to study a non-player character, we have to go to the bestiary start. So the way this works is an insight check as well. But on a result of 10, you know the NPC's rank, species, maximum HP, and maximum MP, which is amazing. On a 13 plus, you know all of the above, plus traits, attributes, defense, magic, defense, and affinities. Plus 16 plus, you get all of the above, plus basic attacks and spells. So if you roll really good on this, you can know basically everything about a monster. Like there are some bonuses and penalties the DM can do against that, but if you get hurt, and you should be hurt a lot because obviously combat is a thing, you can study them for free, and you get these kind of bonuses to be able to do that, which I think is amazing. And you get a bonus equal to your skill level to that check. So this is going to be like the kind of core of our build, is being able to study like this. So we've got painful lesson. We're also going to do shadow strike. One, so it's a might die, lose might to lose HP, then get bonus damage on attack. We're gonna actually write that better here. So we've got Arcana and spells. It's not really a spell, but I like to keep track of certain abilities here. So I'm gonna put Shadow Strike in here. So MP, it doesn't have an MP cost. Target, one creature, duration, instantaneous, if I spelled that right. Oh, I can't copy and paste from that PDF. How weird. Let's try the... where is the Dark Blade? Yeah, I can copy and paste on this one. The other one I used print to PDF to be able to find things better. But obviously that didn't work very well. 184, so we're gonna need 187. Shadow Strike. Just gonna copy it here, and then we can, no, go up. Fix all the spacing. There we go. So that fits neatly into the box. So we can get exactly how it works. Cool. So basically what we've got is you roll the might die, we lose an amount of health equal to that, and then we can perform a free attack with the weapon we have equipped. If it hits a target, it deals damage equal to skill level plus the number rolled on your might die. So if we roll a 6 because we got a d6, we would do an extra 7 damage because we have 1 point into Shadow Strike. And this starts to get us towards Crisis. Later on, we can pick up something like Heart of Darkness, where upon entering Crisis, you can choose a creature that you don't have a bond towards and create a bond. And then there's ways you can synergize with bonds, but for now, we're not going to start with that. That's something we're going to get into later. So let's move on. We're going to go Lawmaster, and we're going to have 3 levels in Lawmaster. Let's get the other page. Yeah, let's go down to this. Lawmaster is. We're just gonna do that. Fury, Guardian, Lawmaster. So the free benefits, MP plus 5. So that becomes 50. Current is 50. That's 6. So we're gonna start with quick assessment. So the way this works is at the start of the combat, you can spend up to skill level mind points. For every mind points you spend this way, you choose a creature and you reveal their traits. So MP, I didn't click on it. MP cost to reveal traits, which is pretty good. But the bigger one is a Flash of Insight. I'm just going to type it. The way Flash of Insight works is when you roll a 13 or higher on a check to investigate a creature, and we get a free investigate or free study. This includes study action. You may ask the game master up to skill level questions concerning the subject. It must answer truthfully. So when we get the painful lesson to study when someone hurts her, we can also add Flash of Insight, which is like a quick little synergy. So 13 plus roll of study lets us ask questions to the GM. And then the last skill we're going to pick up is Trained Memory. I haven't been doing that. So I like to do the skill level there. So Trained Memory, perfectly recall scenes of the last week. So yeah, you can perfectly recall details any scene you've done with last week. You can go back in time with your mind. Your Flash of Insight skill applies to these memories as well. So we have really good memory. We can synergize the memory with the Flash of Insight, which lets us do better studies. So we can gain more information by asking questions. Flash of Insight also works with Painful Lesson, which is a study when we're hurt. When we're hit by someone else. We got Shadow Strike, which is our way of dealing more damage apart from just stabbing them with a rapier. And we've got Quick Assessment, which means at the start of the conflict, we can instantly choose a trait or things to learn right away. So like if it's a boss fight, we can quickly learn something about them. And then when we get hurt, we can learn more about them and we can let the party know. So I really like this as a character. It is most definitely a support character because what we're learning about our enemies quite well, and we're able to let our other teammates know. The way this will kind of shine is if we've got someone with like an elementalist class or like some of the spellcasters, because if we learn, say, like an enemy has like an affinity to fire, we can know that they can use other spells, or if they have like a weakness to like bolt, um, they can cast bolt damage and then they do more damage. So this is going to very much be a character to help the party learn. So where I would go from here is, so obviously we've got the Dark Blade. What I would do, I don't think Dark Blood is that useful, being honest. When you're in Crisis, you have resistance to dark and poison damage. Um, and depending on your campaign, you might not come across dark and poison damage that often. Agony could be pretty good. After you deal damage to one or more creatures, you could recover hit points and mind points. Right now, we barely use mind points at all. We do for the quick assessment at the start of a fight, but that's only used once. So we don't actually have a mind point drain right now. If we went into another class that had mind point cost stuff, that would make more sense. But I would probably go martial classes for this because we can use martial melee weapons. So that's less useful, that's less useful. So if we add everything else up, Painful Lesson, we can do 3 levels in it. Shadow Strike, we can do 5, so that's 8. Heart of Darkness to gain the bond is 9, so we might as well go Dark Blood and get to 10, unless you do want to do the mind points. So yeah, so Shadow Strike to do more damage, Painful Lessons to get better studies if you need that, is where I go next. And then the Lore Master, Flash of Insight, you can get more often. Focus lets you permanently increase your mind points. And again, if you want to go mind point character, we can do Knowledge is Power for the Lore Master, and we can do Agony for the Dark Blade. And that would be pretty good for a spellcaster if you want to go that way. But I would probably go. We may as well take knowledge as power, so then we can replace the dexterity on our rapier with insight, and then it's easier for us to be able to hit people. Dump a lot into quick assessment, so like especially for boss fights, we can spend a lot of mind points and get a lot of information on it. Um, so that would be 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can choose to have one less. I might do 5 in quick assessment because we've got train memory. 5, that's 6. We've got flash of insight for 7, 8, 9, and then knowledge is power will be 10. And then from there, the most logical choice is probably Weapon Master, because then you can use that to get better accuracy and stuff. But because Weapon Master is used so often, I feel like that's a cop-out choice. But you can go anywhere basically. Um, but yeah, that is how I would build the Revenger. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.